here's where one of those combos get to come in. The Unlimited Mana House Squad Heavy. And like I said, you don't get to actually use the combo because when people see it, they mouse over it. They're like, I guess we're done. Hey guys, Crazy here. So, Hobbit's coming out tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be the new Hobbit cards. Lots of cool stuff. Now, I went through almost diamond. There's silver, gold, diamond, master, platinum, diamond, master, and it's pretty high up. And with just like a basic goblin deck that I made when I first got on the game, just kind of randomly constructed. So I figured I'd share that off because there's going to be a lot of new Goblin cards with the Hobbit. And then also show the packages that they had. So they have like a contender draft package for people that are used to playing the game, like to do the drafts. You're going to get whole bunch of cards by doing draft. From when I really got on recently, we just started playing the game. When you do drafts, you're getting like 20, 40 cards per draft, or 40 cards plus. This one's going to be just for the Bilbo. And these are pretty much over tonight, so. This is going to be the Smog one. This is going to be the one I grab because I just want to grab a bunch of golden packs and a bunch of Hobbit boosters and just kind of see what we get. And also it's got the dragon. I like the dragon. So I'm trying to do goblins. Goblins kind of what I've been up to. If you look here, lots of new goblins coming out. Like this legendary goblin soldier here. When he enters, destroy up to one other target creature. Its controller amasses Goblin X. So a lot of cool ways to bring goblins into the play. Got another goblin soldier here. Wolves are going to be in the new upgrade. So they have halfling horrors. couple different ones of them. Different kinds of golems. Here's another goblin here. There's quite a few goblins coming in. Since there's goblins and we already have a goblin deck, we've been really playing a lot of it. I'll show you guys what kind of deck we have here, and then maybe it'll help you guys kind of make your goblin deck. For what you're doing for the Lord of the Rings stuff. So I got two different versions here that I like the most. This is going to be for standard ranked play. And just with the new updates, nothing's really been changed. So I'll explain kind of what's going on with the deck here. This is complete goblin only. The only spells we have in here that don't have the goblin subtext on them there. It's going to be dragon fodder. You should have 4 of these in here, but Hexing Squelcher, especially in the higher up ranks, you need something that people have to decide on what they're going to do. So I need to know, are you going to try to use your kill spell early on the Hexing Squelcher and then take 2 life? You're going to try to kill the House Squad Heavy. You're going to try to kill Krenko. Those are the kind of things that reason why I put the Hexing Squelcher in here. Let me explain how the deck works. So it's a Bogart Mischief, Bogart Cursecrafter deck. When I first got on the game, they gave me quite a few different pulls. And out of the pulls I got a couple Krenkos. And then I got a House Squad Heavy. And when I had them pull out in the basic deck they give you for goblins, it was outrageous how well they synergized. So I decided to kind of go off a deck off of it. And then someone that watches the stream, Carrie, he mentioned deck, and he goes, when he showed me a deck that other people were using for goblins, I seen a lot of people use Bogart Mischief and Bogart Cursecrafter. So I threw those in here, and they ended up being so good, I just threw 4 of them. So a couple of reasons why the deck's pretty good is goblins are pretty cheap, especially if you're not trying to go crazy spells or do anything crazy. And then this is extremely themed. So this is themed entirely around just being goblins and just having goblins go out of control and be a problem. And it's an issue to deal with early game, late game, mid game. I mean, it works pretty good. So let's explain how it works. Dragon fodder. 3, 4, 2 of them. If you're not going to use the Hexing Squelchers, or if you're not having a lot of counterspell problems with people, or people trying to just kill your stuff all the time, don't worry about the Hexing Squelchers. Throw 2 dragon fodders in there. And the reason why is because right at the beginning of the game, 2 mana cost spell, you're getting 2 goblins. A lot of times people try to kill some stuff. They try to come and hit you with the creature real quick with like equipment on, especially in the ranks. And everybody's trying to get like a really quick like 10 damage plus hit on you. And how you're going to get past that is you're just having as many drops of multiple creatures as possible. And it also helps Krenko crank and helps just everything that goes on with the deck. Bogart Mischief, Bogart Cursecrafter. You're just trying to get as many goblins out as possible. The goblins are how you're doing the damage to the opponent. So Sear Slicer Goblin, I only have 1 copy of this. I didn't really want to blow a rare on him. He ends up being very good when he comes in early. Late game, the tokens he gives are all right. But it's nothing too crazy. So if you don't want to go with Sear Slicer Goblin, you can go with something a little bit different. I was using at the very beginning Fanatical Firebrand, even the Frenzied Goblin. This guy lets you ping somebody at the first, and he has haste. Make something unblockable. This guy's gonna let you sacrifice and do damage based off all the goblins you have. Really powerful. So all of these were really good when I first was using them, but the Goblin Headliner still could probably be useful. But the more I play, the higher up in ranks we go. The exact setup I have here is kind of what I recommend. So what you're trying to do is get out Bogart Mischiefs and Bogart Cursecrafters as fast as possible. If you need to, just on turn 2, bring out a Bogart Cursecrafter. On turn 3, you're trying to get something like a House Squad Heavy. And then on turn 4, if you can, Bogart Mischief or Krenko. If you can get Krenko out, amazing. If not, and you're going to have to go kind of deep into the game, Bogart Mischief is going to help you with that. So this is kind of how it works. Is House Squad Heavy, the reason why we have 4 of these and they're rare, is other goblins you control have haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That token attacks each combat if able. So the fact that it gives all of your goblins haste is ridiculous. That's the best part. It starts your engines, and when you get to max speed, you get a mana for each goblin. Krenko is exactly what Krenko is, just for goblins. The moment you drop him, you either get to use him and he taps, or people kill him. So the moment he drops into play, he is a big threat. So you will find out if someone has a kill spell right away. If I was using things to give him hexproof, like Swiftfoot boots and whatnot, but the way the play works is you don't really have time to bring in a equipment and then give him hexproof like you do in like a commander. In the ranks, people just like turn 1, 2, 3, 4 so rapid that you always need to be bringing something out. So it's better to try to just rely on multiple Krenkos, pull it in hand, instead of trying to just save the one you have. So just to go over the full deck, and that's kind of the setup, is if you can get a Krenko out on turn 4, tap him. House Squad Heavy on turn 3 gives him the haste. As soon as you tap him, he gives a bunch of tokens, and then you're going to hit the person. If they don't have any defense up, they're immediately dead, and usually they give up when they see Krenko anyway. Bogart Cursecrafter, Bogart Mischief. This just makes the late game and anything that becomes crazy manageable. So, Dragon Fodder early. Hexing Squelchers are going to give you the ability to not be countered and have a goblin come in no matter what. And then they're going to have to pay 2 life to get rid of any goblin you have unless they kill him. Sear Slicer Goblin. This is something you could probably change out. Bogart Cursecrafter. You need 4 of these. You need 4 of these, and they're both uncommons, so it's easy. It's not really a big deal to grab some uncommons. Bogart Cursecrafter. Whenever another goblin you control dies, you're going to do damage to the opponent, and they have Death Touch, and they're 2/3 for a 2 mana cost. It's a massively good card. Early game, people have a hard time getting through you because you have a 2/3 up on turn 2. It has Death Touch, so they don't really want to try to mow over it. And then late game, or turn 3, turn 4, the moment you drop a Bogart Mischief down, you're going to have 2 more goblins come into play. And then each time that they die, they're going to drain a life. It's pretty much amazing. This is going to be the big combo that makes a lot of people give up. So Dropkick Bombers. They give your goblins +1/+1. This is a big deal. But it's not as big a deal as in other goblin decks where you're trying to get through the opponent with your damage with the goblins. Your goblins, as long as they just die, you're going to do a lot of damage. The reason why this is in here is because it does give the threat of +1/+1, but for 1 mana, you can make your goblins fly, and then they die. And you need a way to sacrifice your goblins, and you need a way to make them fly because we don't really have flying defense. So this takes care of all of that. Just throw 3 of them in there. I draw 1 like every game. Goblin Surprise. Everybody knows when they play goblins, you want to use this. If someone's ever left open, or they say, hey, I'm just going to let like 3 or 4 goblins through, you can give them +2/+0 real quick. Or early game, if you're having a problem, start cranking out 2 1/1 red goblins. House Squad Heavy gives your goblins haste. And then late game, you get unlimited mana for all the goblins you have out. Underfoot Underdogs. This is the best 3-drop I could find. It does the most stuff, and even though it's common. When it drops down, you're going to get another goblin. And then for 1 mana, you can make a goblin that's 2 power or less unblockable, and then they can go hit. The reason why this is important is because early game when you drop one, when you fish for a house squad heavy, you need to get that max speed up so that you can get that unlimited mana. And the only way you're going to get that is things like underfoot underdogs, so you can get a hit in. Eclipse Bogart. This is just like all the other eclipsed creatures in the game. They go search for the target creature that you are in the deck. And this is goblin, so it's going to go search for some goblins. It's going to go find a swamp, a mountain, or a goblin. Grab them and then throw them into play, or throw them into your hand, and then let you go from there. Very powerful because the deck is only filled with goblin spells. The only 2 spells we have that aren't a goblin is the Dragon Fodder, and things like Bogart Mischief is considered goblin. So you can 100% go and grab that with the Eclipse Bogart. Krenko, one of the strongest goblins in all of Magic the Gathering. The moment he taps, he just makes an extra goblin for every goblin you have. It's absurd. He ends games on turn 4 if you can bring him out and he can't be handled early. So what makes the deck really pop is going to be these Grubs Command. Now, I only have 2 of them right now. You might want to throw 3 in, but the thing is it takes 5 mana. So you're trying to end the game around turn 3 or 4. But if you need to go further, Grubs Command is going to really help. So around turn 5, if there's something on the board you can't handle, destroy target artifact or creature, you pop that, and you get to choose 2 of these. So you usually pop that. You can mill yourself to go look for some more goblins, and since everything in the deck is a goblin, when you mill, anything that's not a land is going to be put into your hand. Well, except for the kill-all card and the Dragon Fathers. So that's 3 cards. And then target creatures you control get +1/+1 in haste until end of turn. What this comes in useful is for Krenko. And then the created token is useful for almost the same thing. So a few different things you can do. If you need to, you can make a token of the Bogart Mischief, which if you're having a hard time and you're trying to out-token somebody else, this is going to really make the difference. Or you can have Krenko tap, then you can make a token of him, have it tap again if you have the House Squad Heavy out, and then you can go and mill and look for more creatures and even drop another Krenko again if you have enough mana from the House Squad Heavy. And that's why the deck gets so crazy, is it has a lot of different combos, and late game you can do things like when Grub Command comes in, drop a token of one of your legendaries like Krenko. He gets to tap, bring in like 20 goblins, make a copy of them. Since you have haste, you tap him again. You make another 40 goblins instead of 20 this time, since you're making double. And then you get to mill your deck, grab 5 more cards. You're probably going to grab another Krenko, can drop him, and you already have enough mana. You have about like 15-20 mana from the House Squad Heavy's ability. So then you're going to drop him again, tap him, make even more. Or you're going to just make copies of Bogart Mischief, copies of the Curse Crafter, copies of the Heavy. There's so many different combos that it just becomes unmanageable for people. And usually what happens around turn 4, 5, 6, you start getting enough goblins out that Bogart Mischief is, if they haven't taken care of your enchantment yet, they're going to try to do a kill all creatures spell like Villainous Wrath, and they're just going to kill themselves. No, they're going to... They're going to try to do a kill all creature spell like Villainous Wrath, and the moment they drop that down, it's going to blow them up. All of their creatures are going to be sacrificed. All of yours will go to the graveyard as well. But the moment that happens, Bogart Mischief is going to hit them, and then the Villainous Wrath is going to hit them for their creatures. And that usually ends the game on turn 5. So turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 is usually when people are going to quit. If they still keep going, then it just goes down from there for people. The bog here just bogs them down with goblins, and it becomes crazy. But this is the setup. This is the best setup I've come up with. It lands and everything for summoning in and having the highest win rate. I would say so far, I haven't been up into the master, but right before master, up into like diamond, it's been a 50, 55, 60% win rate. If you're against different kinds of decks, we have a few things. I was trying to do things like Feldon's Cane to take care of people that are millers, but Impact Tremors became so much stronger. You just throw a couple Impact Tremors down, and the moment you start summoning in a bunch of goblins, you do so much damage to them, they can't really handle it. Things like Molten Collapse, Garna, Bloodfist of Keld. These kind of things are to handle people that make you discard if it's really becoming a problem. Blasphemous Edict is our best kill spell since we have usually 13 tokens out or more. And when we drop that down, we get to choose to sacrifice the tokens and keep cranking them out so you can keep cranking tokens out. Grievous Wound's pretty nice if you're able to get a hit in on them, and it makes it so they can't gain life anymore. Really good auras. These are just things to counter other people. Yep. Anzrag's Rampage. You're going to destroy all artifacts that you don't control. Exile cards from the top of your library and grab creature cards. Perfect for our deck. Goblin Negotiation. If you end up getting to the point where you want to cast spells, throw 4 of these in there. Once your House Squad Heavy goes off and you get that unlimited mana, you will hit one of your own goblins, or you can hit one of their creatures, and the overkill damage will be so high that you're just going to start creating like 10, 15 goblins around. So all sorts of amazing things. I really like this deck. This is one of my favorite things. I'll throw the list up into the description there, and then hopefully people have fun with this. Tomorrow I'm going to open up those other cards, and I'll make a couple more goblin decks, see what we can do with that, and see where we go with it. One other thing before I let you guys go. I have the end version of this deck, which I've been using. Now, the only big difference here is I rely on getting to Villainous Wrath, so maybe a couple more of these in the deck, and Sephiroth as fast as possible. What you do here is if you could have Sephiroth sacrifice something and then have about 3 other goblins die real quick, which is extremely easy in this deck. He morphs. You get a token that makes it so that your creatures and the other people's creatures, when they die, you drain a life from them. And then if he's still up, you're getting this double life drain. That's working with Bogart Mischief. That's working with Bogart Cursecrafter. And it just takes the deck to a little bit of a level where you're not really a goblin deck anymore. But if you want to start adding things in like Sephiroth, you're getting draw mechanics. And you're getting the same effects as the Bogart Cursecrafters, and he's only 3 mana. So, really powerful. Little things like that. If you're having another hard time with people, little things like the Vile Bogart, if people have a bunch of Indestructible, you can use that. I do not have the rare. But I have had him used against me a couple of times, and he is quite powerful. So the Champion of the Weird. You can use him and just keep on beholding goblins and then getting rid of them. And every time you pay a life, you make the opponent blight 2. What this does is they have to put -1 and -1 counters on their creatures. This gets rid of anybody who has an indestructible creature or any kind of creature that's just out of control to deal with. A creature that has protection from everything, anything like that. Blight, what it does is it makes the opponent, takes care of all of the defenses that their creatures have and forces them to now do something to their creatures that their creature can't stop. That's why Blight's so powerful. And that's also why a creature like this is ridiculous if you want to do that. Every time you get rid of one of your creatures, it's going to work. Now, it didn't work very good with Bogart Mischief. When I had someone verse me, he didn't seem to be like really that good compared to just summoning in a bunch more goblins. So I kind of stuck with what I had without going and grabbing one of these. But if anybody else knows about that and they like that, just let me know. But yeah, that's what we did so far for the goblins. Hopefully everybody has fun with the Hobbit openings, and I'll put this up and then talk to everybody tomorrow.